Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to use the app Pages to create a graphic, a vector graphic for laser cutting on the laser engraver. So first I'm going to go into Pages. If you don't have it on your iPad yet, you can get it in the self-service. Alright, so in Pages I'm going to create a new document, and it's going to be a blank document. It's in Portrait. And I don't need to type any text here, so I'm going to get rid of my keyboard. And I'm going to add, so if you look in the top right corner, there's a plus. I'm going to add some clip art. So the clip art is that square and circle, and there's a bunch of different ones that you can look at here. I'm going to go to nature, because I kind of like nature. I might want to put some flowers or some leaves or tree type things on my lamp. I'm going to choose this flower here. I kind of like that. So there's a few things I need to do to prepare this so that the computer that's connected to the laser engraver knows to cut this out and not just engrave it. So to change those things, I'm going to click on the paintbrush that's in the top right corner, and I'm going to change a couple of things. First, I'm going to start with the fill here. I'm going to change that so that there's no fill. So if you go scroll to the right, there's a button that says no fill. Click on style to go back. I'm going to turn the border on. Right now the border is black. I'm going to change that color to red. So I'll find this red there. That's an important step, that it has to be that color red. Go back to style. And the width is set as small as I can in this program, which is 1 point. We'll make it smaller when we get to the laser engraver. So this is one piece of paper. I could cut out a whole bunch of these. So I'm going to copy and paste this a couple of times. And arrange these however I want to do it. Might as well do another one. Alright, so when I'm finished and I'm ready to save it, I am going to go up to these dots at the top, and I'm going to click Export. So we need this to be a vector graphic, and so of our 4 choices here, the PDF is a vector graphic file. So it's going to save it in wherever we tell it to. I'm going to save it to my drive, and I'm logged into my school account. There I am, and I'll hit upload. Now I need to move that over to the shared folder that's connected to the laser engraver computer. So I'm going to go back to my home screen and find my drive app and find that file. I need to refresh here a little bit. Oh, there it is. It's called blank 3. Now that's not a good name for it, so what I'm going to do is rename it, because if everyone's file is called blank 3, it's going to give us some issues. So I'll call this Joel G. Laser Cutting and hit rename. And then I'm going to move this over to the shared folder. So find where it says move, and then you're going to go to shared with me, and then you'll go through and find that folder that I shared with you. Now, I don't have it because it belongs to me, so I'm going to have to find it in my drive. Let's say I'm in period 1. I'm going to upload it to this, so I click on move here, and then it says move. Now that file will get moved to that folder, and through the magic of the cloud, it will get saved onto the laser engraver and computer, which is where we're going to go next. Alright, here we are at the laser engraver computer. I am going to start a new document here. That's a default document. So this is set up as the size of the laser engraver. It's 24 inches wide and 12 inches tall. And what I'm going to do is start by finding that file that I saved to the shared folder, and I'm going to import it. So I go over to File, Import, and then I find that. I'm in period 1, and there it is, Joel G. Laser Cutting. So there's some different settings here. We can just be okay with that and click OK. And then we want to move this into this top left corner, because that's where we're going to put the paper when we get to the laser engraver. So we'll put it up in this left corner right there. Alright. So there's some settings here that I'm going to need to change before the laser engraver knows to cut this. So what I'll need to change here is the stroke and the fill and make sure that those are set right. So I clicked on this down here in this corner. That brought up this menu over here on the right. I'm going to zoom into this so you can see this a little bit better. Let's see if it'll focus on that. Alright, so first I'm going to start with the fill. I'm going to make sure that I have all these selected first. Yep. And I'm going to click on this X here so that there's no paint. Alright. Then I'm going to go to stroke paint, and I'm going to click on the second one, which is a flat color, and I'm going to make sure that this is set as RGB red. So there's a couple ways I can do this. I can slide this all the way up here, or I can just type it in at 255. So that means that it's all red. That's what the R stands for. There's no green, which is the G, so that's 0, and blue is 0. And you can also tell down here there's a thing called a hex code, which is FF000. The laser engraver takes anything that's all red and it knows that we want to cut that. So that's an important step. And then the last thing I want to do is set the stroke style width to as small as we can get it, which is 0.001 inches. 0.001 inches. When that's all set, I can click off of that and I can close that menu. Now you can see here that those got a little more narrow, that line width did. So now that file will be ready to send to the printer. Now we have to do this in 2 steps. The first step that we're going to do is we're going to go to print. Usually we would just select the M300, which is the laser engraver, but we're going to have to go through a different program here. So I'm going to scroll over and find the Foxit Reader PDF printer, and I'm going to hit print. Now I need to give this a name, so I'll call it JG Laser Cut, and I already have one. I'll just replace it, and then it's going to open up this document here. So you can see this is an Adobe Reader. This can send information over to our printer. So now we need to make sure that that's ready to go. So I'm going to grab a piece of paper here. Here's my paper. And I'm going to load it into the laser engraver. So I'm going to, the orientation on the screen here is portrait, which would be this way. So I'm going to put it in like that, make sure it's up in the corner. Now the height should be already set for you. I'm going to close this and then I'm going to send it over. So on here, I'm going to go to File, Print, and now I'm going to make sure that it's selected as the M300 and the settings should be good, and I'm going to hit Print, and that's going to send the information back over to the laser engraver. Now I should be able to see it on here if I click Next File. Should be the next file, and these are the settings for cutting through cardstock, which is a power of 30 and a speed of 10. So the last thing I need to make sure I do is turn on this fume extractor, and then I'm ready to press start. Now in this one it's going to cut around the edge of the paper, and then it's going to cut those designs out. Alright, here you can see the final result here, if I can get this to focus. There we go. I left the pieces of this in the laser engraver, but you could use those just as well.